Good morning. So this is a message for twin flames. Um, and really, this whole journey is your spiritual awakening. It is for you. Um, and the realization that as long as you are chasing them around, as long as you are chasing them, you are not in your own life. You're not sitting in the driver's seat of your life. You are putting your happiness dependent on them, dependent on um, um, getting them or grasping them. As long as you're chasing them, you are not taking control of your own life. You're out running, even if it is energetically, even if it is not physically out chasing them, if it is spending your time figuring out or thinking about them. Part of this spiritual awakening and part of this rising into yourself is on all levels. It's also on the physical level. So we need to be able to take a hold of our focus and take a hold of our own consciousness and start taking back the control of where our mind is. This is something that really is mind over emotion. It is in the understanding. We have to use all of the tools. See, in this spiritual awakening, we give a lot of thought to the spiritual aspects, and we're up in the higher realms, and it's so easy for us to be up in the higher realms. But then things in the physical realm can start falling apart because we are because all of our focus is going on this spiritual journey, and we're rising and we're understanding things and we're having these massive realizations. The ultimate of the spiritual awakening and what the spiritual awakening is doing for us is actually allowing us to live in this 3D plane as higher beings. So the ultimate spiritual work is bringing the spiritual work, combining it with the physical world. So it's just like the Merkava. It's bringing the Merkava, um, which is it's the upper. It's actually it's 3D, but it is bringing the heavens down and bringing yourself up. So it's combining the two. It's like marrying the two. And then when you're able to bring those other realms, the higher realms, the non-physical realms into the physical world, then you have the use as this physical body. You're able to channel and to bring down the forces of the all, the God force, into this physical plane. And so part of the spiritual awakening is also mind over matter. It's taking control as your higher self, sitting in the driver's seat of your life, and taking control also of your mind and being able to bring the focus back into your own life and apply it in your life. And if you really think about it, who wants somebody else's happiness to depend on you? Like, I'm thinking of my own self. Do I want somebody outside of me's happiness to depend on me? That's a big, I want to, and not only for that, not only that, I want my own happiness to depend on me, because then I'm not dependent on other people outside of me for my own happiness and for my own successes and for my own, I'm not reliant on others for my life experience. And so that's what this whole twin flame journey, this whole spiritual awakening is about, is becoming that light in this 3D realm, bringing all of that down into here. And even for there, because we are one energetic field, when I am chasing, he's running. If I'm pulling, he's pushing. It's a constant mishmash. And when we lose sight sometimes, we come into the ego mind, we come into the 3D plane, and we lose sight of what is truly true. And we lose sight of the fact that this is our own spiritual awakening, and where we make it about that other person. When in fact, just a minute, I'm going to come back. I'm going to collect that. The line was lost. Just to give me a second. Okay, so we actually have to rise into being worthy of this connection and being worthy. We have to bring ourselves into a place where we're standing tall. we are independent, we are self-reliant, where somebody else would even want to be part of our lives. I mean, who wants somebody that doesn't have anything going on in their life? And as we're on this journey in the beginning, when we're chasing, when that desperate energy, it's desperate. And, for me, it was a total surprise because I've never been desperate. And all of a sudden, you're thrown into this like you can't breathe. You feel like you can't breathe without this other person in your life. And who wants that? It's a depleted life. And when I started seeing my own life energetically, I could see that it's like I have this balloon. My life is this balloon, this energetic balloon, and I'm a powerful, powerful being. But I depleted my whole life, let my finances fall apart, let my relationships with my children, I was doing what I needed to do, but I was doing it in a way of just doing the actions. My heart wasn't there because my mind and my emotion and everything about me was in that crazy energy of chasing energy. And most of my time, most of my energy, most of my life light, most of my focus was in that place. And when you're in that crazy energy, that's not attractive energy. Chasing energy is exactly the opposite of attracting energy. And when you think of somebody that is attractive, even somebody that is attractive to you, it is somebody that is strong, is knowing, is self-reliant, has their own, we're also attracted to things that give us life lessons. A lot of times we'll be attracted to people that are weak because we have this, the people naturally on this journey are healers. And that's why we are rising into our highest self so that we can heal the world. But we are naturally healers. And so we're also drawn to weaknesses. We're drawn to people that need healing so that we can expand our own tools that are God-given natural tools that we have to work with. So there's all sorts of attractions. But I mean, when we're really, really attracted to somebody, we're attracted to people that are self-confident, that are self-reliant, that have grown spiritually, that are independent. And the best gift that we can give to ourselves and the best gift that we can give to our twin, the best gift that our twin, I don't like the name twin flame, but just because that is what the label is right now, that's what I can use. I like a divine counterpart or divine reflection, whatever you want to call it, right? Because it's our mirror. It's that smack in your face mirror. It shows you all of your points. So we are really blessed and graced to even be on this journey, to have been magnetized to our counterpart, to be able to do this journey and to be able to see our reflection. And when we understand that it's all about that, it's all about us, then we can bring the focus back to ourselves. And that's the biggest gift that we can give also to our counterpart, is our own healing, where we rise, because as we rise, we're healing the energy, the combined energy. So if you really are in that unconditional love and not in the greedy, I want to get you, catch you, bring you to me, you have to be next to me, I'm jealous and I'm going to make you only want me, and I'm going to, I know how it works. We can deny it. We can say, no, we have this unconditional love as long as you're next to me. Unconditional love is not that. Unconditional love is allowance, is letting them be free, letting them go and do what they need to do. And by releasing them and loving them and just like, look at you go do it. Go become your highest self. Go heal yourself. If you need to be in a relationship with her so that you can heal yourself because she gives you something that you need right now on your path, then go do it. I want to see you expand. I want to see you excel. I want to see you be your highest self. And truly, that's the love that I want for me back. I don't want to diminish my life experience or make my life experience smaller so that I can please somebody else. And I really want somebody else in my life that can see me for that and wants the highest and greatest things for me and is in complete allowance of my healing and wants to see me excel. And there are things on this journey that we need to go through with other people. There are that, I mean, you can just look back in your life and see all the relationships that you were in and what you have learned from them. And you can see that you could have never arrived where you are now without going through those things. And whatever happens on this journey is the natural course of things, even if it is what you perceive to be as a mistake, things that you have done that you've perceived to be as a mistake, it's still part of the journey because you had to have made those mistakes in order to get to where you are and to learn from them. As long as you're learning from what you're doing and as long as you're expanding, then everything is exactly as it needs to be. So there is a certain amount also of surrender, which I talked about on a previous video. Surrender, have faith, trust in the journey, and bring all that focus back to you. Part of it is taking control of your own mind, taking control. When you have that urge to chase, you have that urge to say, okay, wait a minute, go into the meditative state. I know that it's difficult because when that comes up, it's like an obsessive, it's like an addiction. You get like, you can't breathe. And sometimes you do just have to run, get out in nature. Sometimes you can't focus on anything. Best thing to do is just go into a meditative state and get into this mantra where you tell yourself, I am worthy, I am all that I need. And I know that sometimes you can't get to that feeling, but you do need to just trust and have faith and understand that this journey is all about you. This journey is all about me. It's all about me rising into that occasion. And if there is any chance on union, and once you do rise, the union becomes, you understand that you're always together anyway. It becomes like, oh, I can have him in my consciousness because there's a telepathic as you purify yourself, because the energetic fields are connected, there's this telepathic connection that begins to happen. You can feel his energy and know what he's doing. And in some points, I'm still on this journey in myself and I'm still rising, but I've gotten to a point where I do have great insight and I can also help others. I also guide others on this journey and where they're at to mirror it back. A lot of times it's a lot easier for us to see on another than it is on ourselves, but we can also get in that way, our own rising and our own mirrors. And so really, if anybody needs any personal one-on-one, you can contact me and we can schedule a session. The sessions really, it's you say an hour and a half, but it's usually at least a couple of hours, if not more. And really, there's so much information that goes through and such an energetic exchange that it gives, it's like gives you a jolt into your journey and a rising. So it's not something that you need every day. It's something that really, when it gives you a push and gives you a step up on the journey. So I do invite you. I feel a calling. I feel a calling. And that is also part of this journey. We start having callings, things that are beyond us, things that we feel that are our purpose to fulfill, just like this video. And so if you do feel a calling or feel that you need a step up, then you can definitely contact me and we can schedule a session. And I would love to be able to give, to give, to give and to get, to receive. It's always a duo. And so really what the best gift that we can give to them is our own self-healing, because through that we're healing them as well. And through that, also what I was saying before is knowing that they're always there. When you start getting to the stage where you have that telepathic give or take, you have these synchronicities as well, and you have that telepathic connection and the connection where you're always feeling them present in your energetic field. It becomes like a comfort because you have them regardless. They're there. And when you understand that they're there and you have them regardless, then it gives you the freedom to go out and do your own thing and do your own life and to expand. So you can when you have that unconditional love, you allow them. And when you allow somebody and you want for their best good, they want to be in your presence, even if it's just in your energetic presence. When you're trying to grasp and take from somebody, their instinct is to push you away. So this unconditional love is not about chasing them around. It's about doing your own self work and bringing your own self to your higher place. And when you get to that higher place, the union doesn't become an issue anymore because you understand that you are already in union. So the union, the physical union, kind of falls off the plate. I mean, it's nice, right? It would be really nice if he was sitting right here next to me, but I understand. I understand on the journey that that we are the containers of that energy. We are the balancers of that energy. And when he is next to me physically, I still feel that that buzz in the energy. So the energy is still super, super, super intense. And that's also what makes them run. Yeah, they have their own self work to do. And so the more that we can bring the focus back to ourselves, not only are we able to come into our own being and really sit in it and bring ourselves to this higher plane and bring ourselves into a higher understanding and bring the focus back to our lives, back to our children, back to our own self-work, we're able to start building our own life. And because we have grown and expanded so much on this journey till now, there is so much more that we have to give when we get to a place on this journey where we feel this overwhelming, um, it's like a calling to give of ourselves. There's a place on the spiritual journey where you cannot continue without bringing others with you, because we are a network, a human network. Think of it as a human network, and you start rising into your consciousness. As you rise, the whole network rises with you. And when you get to a point, either you break apart from humanity and you go flying off into space somewhere, without ever bringing it down into this surface, this plane, this 3D mode. Or as you rise, you start having to pull others with you. You start having to bring them up with you so that you don't disconnect. And that is part of the expansion, part of expanding the network. Because as you're expanding and as you're rising and you're bringing and see it as a rising and bringing a net, grabbing a net and pulling it up, everything rises with it. And there's a certain point where you just cannot rise anymore without pulling people with you, pulling your energy, the energetic field around you with you. That's how we become these beacons of light and how we are leaders into the new world. And the new world is simply a rising consciousness, a rise into a place where everything, you are in this higher consciousness, and you know, it's like a spiral, and we keep on spiraling. We go down into the hole, and oh no. And that's kind of like overcoming your own ego. It's like overcoming yourself. You go back into the places that you need work, and it's such a distance from where you have rise to where your higher self is. When you go back down into the ego, it's so painful. It's so painful because you're going down into those lower vibrations again, and your being already knows those higher places and already is living for the most part in those higher places. It's just when you hit like a snag, it's like you hit a bump in the road, a place that you still haven't healed in, a place that your mind is still, your consciousness is still in those lower ego grinding places. You're out of sync with the universe, out of sync with God, out of sync with the natural way of being, out of unconditional love, where you're not completely in your higher self. You go shook, smack down into, it's like being thrown into hell, and you go smack down in there. And it really, I think that that's a little bit of what they were talking about, heaven and hell. Heaven is a place in your mind. It's a place of consciousness. It's a place of higher being. It's a place where in this plane you live. And so the ultimate is to arrive at heaven and earth in this lifetime and on this 3D plane during this lifetime. So we are rising into heaven on earth. And when you rise into heaven on earth, it is not dependent on anybody. We are so blessed and graced. And thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I am so privileged to be on this journey with all the pain. You know, in the beginning, it was like, what? I don't want this. I was suffering and I was crying most of the time. I still suffer and cry a little bit. Um, but as you rise into those higher places, you understand that this is about me. This is about, this is about not only me, it is about me, but because it's about me, it's also about everybody else. Because as I rise, I'm raising others around me. I'm bringing it into existence. So I'm sending you guys so much love, so much love, so much love, so much love. This is actually, this I didn't make. This is my first Organite, and it's the closest one. This is actually my twin mate, and it is the sign of Mercury. It is Metatron, which is Metatron is the angel that is a bridge between the heaven and the earth, between God and mankind, it is a messenger from God. And so it is sacred geometry. And so this is, I also make with this sign, with the sacred geometry with Metatron. So this is Organite, has different metals in it. I've decided that I'm going to start talking about them because I feel like there is power in it, and there is energy in it, and there is a purification in the Organites. It's based on the work of Wilhelm Reich. Was an Austrian. He was a scientist, doctor, and he worked in the early 1900s or mid 1900s, and he came up with a system of purifying energy. There's energy all around us, which is the life force energy, and he was actually doing a lot of healing work. And he was healing people from cancer, from all sorts of mental despair. And as he was doing his work, and it was working like magic, he was put in prison, and he died in prison, and all of his work was burnt and confiscated, and and some people that worked with him, his comrades, continued his work. But you can find information about it. It's called Orgon Energy, OGs. There are quite a few alchemists now, including myself, that have begun to bring this technology. It's alchemy work. It's working with the elements. So there's different metals in here. There's the spiral, because energy wants to flow. So you actually give it where to flow to. So it's not random, and it's on your heart with the sacred geometry, which is the sacred symbols have. When you look at them, they have meaning, and also when you understand their meaning, so it symbolizes something for you, which always brings your consciousness back to your source, back to knowing. When I wear, it also depends on the alchemist that made the Organite. So when I wear this, sometimes I can really feel it's like a portal. It becomes really heavy, or it becomes really light, depending on what is going on around me. So that is my information about the Organite. So if you want an Organite, you can also contact me directly, or through Facebook, or through, on all of my videos, I have contact information below. Also on my website, I'm building my website now. It's still a progress, so it's not complete yet. I'm still working on it. But if you want more information, you can definitely contact me directly, and I can send you information on it. And I have many different samples. What I understand is that, and I can send you information on them. What I understand is that it is what you are drawn to. And the ones I've seen, that as people come to me to purchase Organites, I can see, like, they see a certain symbol, and their eyes brighten up, and they're like, this. And even if they don't understand it, and then as we go in and we start studying the symbolism of whatever the sacred geometry is that they chose, I begin to see that it has the exact healing properties that they need. It's their exact connection. So I'm learning so much to trust that there is divine guidance in all of this. And this comes back to the journey. There is divine guidance. Trust. Even the pain serves a purpose. We're burning through the pain. So as you're burning through this pain, understand that it serves a purpose. And part of it is we have to burn through the pain, and part of it is that we have to take the control back in our lives. It's like taking the reins of the horse and telling the horse where we want to go, and not letting the horse take us where we want. So my twin once told me, our ego, talking about the ego, said our ego is a wonderful slave, but a horrible boss. So our ego it's a wonderful slave. So it is there to serve us. Our ego is ours. It's ours. It's not anybody else's. So all the answers are within ourselves. So we really need to trust. And we also need to choose and pick and choose what we allow into our belief system, what we allow ourselves to, the programming that we allow ourselves to run on. We are programmed creatures. Our mind is programmed. We have our higher selves and what is right and true for us, and our intuition guides us down this path, and that's how you even found this video. But our mind is something that is programmable. We need to watch what we allow into our mind and what we allow to program. So we are our own judges. We are the ones that decide what we take in, what we don't take in. And really, when we hear truth that is relevant to us, we know it. We get it. We can understand it. So I'm sending you guys so much love and appreciation. If you've watched me till now, this has been a channeled message. So really, I've been allowing every morning I get up and I say, thank you. Let me just be a channel, work through me. It's bigger and beyond me. And I allow this divine guidance to just flow through me as much as I can. And wherever it gets stuck are the places that I need healing still in. And I'm just a channel and an allowance, and that is where we're headed on this journey. So each of us are. So know what you are. Sending you guys so much love. Thank you for watching.